Have you ever stopped to think about the impact alcohol has on your life? I'm not just talking about the next day hangovers or the funny stories from nights out. I'm talking about something deeper, more silent, and perhaps far more dangerous than you realize. Alcohol, a legal and widely accepted substance, is killing millions of people every year, directly or indirectly. But if it's so dangerous, why do we keep treating alcohol as if it were harmless? Why does it seem like an essential part of parties, family gatherings, or even quiet dinners? Have we become so accustomed to it that we fail to recognize the warning signs? Let's dive into these questions together. Alcohol's true nature and immediate effects. Alcohol is so ingrained in our daily lives that we often forget it is, at its core, a drug. It's a psychoactive substance, meaning it directly affects the central nervous system, altering brain function. Did you know that when you consume alcohol, your brain undergoes immediate changes that influence your behavior, emotions, and even motor skills? Think about it. What happens when you take just one drink? The feeling of relaxation, slight euphoria, or maybe even the courage to say or do things you usually wouldn't. It seems harmless, right? But what you might not realize is that these sensations result from a chemical process that can have lasting effects. For instance, have you noticed how some people begin to rely on a drink to feel comfortable in social settings? This is one of the first signs that alcohol has shifted from being a complement to becoming an emotional crutch. Now, take a moment to reflect. Could it be that you're already at this point without realizing it? How alcohol harms your health. Many associate the dangers of alcohol solely with excessive consumption, like people who drink heavily every day. But the truth is, even those who drink socially are at risk of severe harm. Did you know that alcohol is a leading cause of chronic inflammation in the body? It weakens the immune system, making it less efficient, and contributes to the development of diseases like type 2 diabetes, hypertension, and even cancer. There's also acetaldehyde, a toxic byproduct produced when alcohol is metabolized by the liver. This substance is classified as a carcinogen and is directly linked to tumors in the liver, mouth, throat, and even the breast. Here's a question for you. If you knew that each drink increased your chances of developing serious illnesses, would you reconsider your habits? Is there such a thing as safe consumption? You've probably heard the claim that a glass of wine a day is good for the heart. But is that true? Recent studies suggest that there's no safe amount of alcohol. Even moderate consumption can increase the risk of disease. Think about this. You only drink on weekends, maybe 3 beers a day. That might seem like a small amount, but it's already enough to put your health at risk. The body doesn't forget the accumulated effects. So, let me ask, is it worth continuing to gamble with your health for something that often causes more problems than benefits? Why is it so hard to stop drinking? A question many people ask is, if alcohol is so harmful, why is it so hard to stop drinking? The answer lies in a combination of social, psychological, and biological factors. First, we live in a society that glorifies alcohol consumption. Think about how many advertisements show happy, attractive, and successful people drinking. How many parties have you been to where alcohol was practically the centerpiece? This constant exposure creates a powerful association. Alcohol equals fun, relaxation, and social connection. But what happens in your brain when you drink? Alcohol stimulates the release of dopamine, the neurotransmitter responsible for feelings of pleasure. That's why drinking makes you feel more relaxed and happy. However, this sensation is temporary. Over time, the brain adapts, and you need larger amounts to achieve the same effect. This is called tolerance, the first step toward dependence. Now, think about it. Couldn't that relaxation you feel while drinking be achieved in another way? A walk, meditation, or even a good conversation with a friend can provide the same feeling without the risks. The dangerous cycle between alcohol and mental health. Did you know that alcohol not only worsens mental health issues, such as anxiety and depression, but can also be the cause of them? The relationship between alcohol consumption and mental health creates a dangerous cycle. Imagine someone who drinks to forget their problems or relax after a hard day. Initially, it seems to work, but what happens when the effect wears off? Alcohol interferes with brain chemistry, reducing serotonin levels, which can intensify feelings of sadness or anxiety. Here's an important question. How many times have you turned to alcohol to escape something you were feeling? Could this escape be creating an even bigger problem? Moreover, studies show that people who regularly consume alcohol have a much higher risk of developing disorders such as depression, bipolar disorder, and even psychosis. And the impact isn't limited to the person drinking. Families and friends also suffer from unpredictable behavior, emotional highs and lows, and in extreme cases, violence that may result from alcohol consumption. If you feel trapped in this cycle, know that there are alternatives. Therapy, support groups, and even lifestyle changes can help break this pattern. When we think about the consequences of alcohol consumption, it's easy to focus on the individual effects, illnesses, addiction, and emotional struggles. But the impact goes far beyond that. Alcohol deeply affects society as a whole. For example, alcohol consumption is directly linked to an increase in domestic violence, traffic accidents, and crime. How many lives could be saved if there were less alcohol in circulation? And it doesn't stop there. Alcohol also comes with a massive economic cost. Think about the public health expenses required to treat alcohol-related illnesses, the resources spent on awareness campaigns, and the losses caused by accidents and reduced productivity at work. Did you know that in some countries, the economic cost of alcohol surpasses the revenue collected from taxes on it? Now, I ask you, is it worth keeping something that causes so much harm, not just to individuals but to society as a whole? If you've made it this far, it's because you've already realized that alcohol consumption is not as simple as it seems. The good news is that you can start making significant changes today. Reflect on your habits. How many times a week do you drink? Why do you drink? Is it for pleasure or out of habit? Try alternatives. The next time you're at a social gathering, choose a non-alcoholic drink. See how it feels to be present without alcohol. Seek support. If you feel that alcohol is already affecting your life, don't be afraid to ask for help. There are support groups, therapists, and healthcare professionals ready to assist you. Talk to your circle. Often, simply discussing the dangers of alcohol with friends and family can plant a seed of awareness. Do you believe these changes are possible? Imagine a future where alcohol is no longer seen as essential. A future where health and well-being are priorities. Throughout this video, we've explored how alcohol, despite its legality and acceptance, can be one of the most destructive drugs in existence. Now, the decision is in your hands. You can continue living as before, or you can choose a more conscious and healthier path. And remember, this is not about deprivation. It's about freedom. Freedom to live fully, without relying on something that can take so much away from you. This is not the end of the conversation. On the contrary, this is just the beginning of a deep reflection on the role of alcohol in your life and in society. Perhaps while watching this video, you felt a sense of discomfort. That's normal. The truth often challenges us, pushes us out of our comfort zone, and makes us question choices we once considered harmless. But it's precisely in this moment of discomfort that true growth happens. Alcohol, though socially accepted and even encouraged, is not harmless. It comes with a high cost for health, for relationships, and for society as a whole. Ignoring these impacts doesn't change the facts. However, what can change everything is how you choose to act from this point forward. So, what can you do? The answer is simple yet powerful. Start small, but start today. The next time you feel the temptation to drink, ask yourself, do I really need this? How does this contribute to the life I want to build? Reflect on what you've learned here today and consider trying new ways to celebrate, relax, and connect with those around you without relying on alcohol. If you've ever thought about reducing or even eliminating alcohol from your life, why not try it for a week or a month? What could you discover about yourself by making this choice? And if you think you can't do it alone, remember that seeking help is not a sign of weakness, but of strength. Now, I need your help. If this video made you reflect, share it with someone you love. It could be a friend, a relative, or even someone you know who's struggling with excessive alcohol consumption. Spreading this message is an act of courage and compassion. Leave your comment below. What do you think about what we discussed today? How has alcohol impacted your life or the lives of those you know? Your story could inspire others to take the first step. Together, we can make a difference. Remember, the power of transformation lies in your hands. Every choice you make today shapes the path you'll follow tomorrow. You can choose alcohol with all its risks and consequences, or you can choose a freer, fuller, and healthier life. I know the decision isn't easy, but I promise you it's worth it. It's not about perfection, but progress, becoming the best version of yourself, for you and for the ones you love. Thank you for staying with me until the end. Now it's your turn to act. A big hug, and I'll see you in the next video. Together, let's make a difference.